second phase back to school starts today. Government to create roadmap for national vaccine development. It's time for the updates here on Updates at Noon. I'm Brendan Lipol. After almost 4 months of absence, students in Forms 1 to 4 and pupils in years 5 and 6, as well as removed classes, return to school today. The decision to reopen the schools is seen as timely to motivate students to follow the learning process in schools. However, both schools and students must abide by the set standard operating procedure (SOP) as the COVID-19 pandemic is still spreading and everyone must get used to the new normal.
Selain kita mengikuti garis panduan yang disediakan di mana penjarakan sosial itu diutamakan, jadi kita pun ada sediakan jarak di mana antara individu dan individu itu kita nak supaya 1 meter, dan kalau ikut garis panduan daripada Kementerian Kesihatan, dia juga menggalakkan supaya kita mengamalkan 3C itu, avoid confined spaces, crowded places, dan juga dari segi close conversation di mana kita tidak dibenarkanlah.
Senior Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has advised all parents to ensure their children to be fit and healthy to return to schools.
Pastinya, pihak pentadbiran sekolah telah membuat persiapan pembukaan sekolah dengan mengambil kira norma baru terutamanya penjarakan sosial dan kebersihan diri. Saya sekali lagi ingin mengingatkan para pelajar dan murid untuk memastikan kawalan kendiri sentiasa diamalkan apabila pulang ke sekolah.
Meanwhile, schools will reopen for pupils years 1 to 4 next week on the 22nd of July. A study conducted by the Health Ministry on patients who have recovered from COVID-19 from the Sungai Loei cluster found low level of antibodies. Health Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said studies from other countries also found that those who were infected with COVID-19 face diminishing antibodies 8 weeks after recovery.
Kajian kita ialah antibody respon dalam kalangan satu kluster yang positif, dan kita dapati selepas 3 bulan dalam kluster tersebut, iaitu kluster di Sungai Loei, dan kita dapati antibody yang terbina hanya 20%. Jadi sepatutnya mereka dijangkiti antibody akan meningkat 80%, 90%, dan kalau antibody meningkat baru kita boleh cerita pasal herd immunity.
The Health Director General said Malaysia is considering carrying out a third phase study on COVID-19 to find the best method to stimulate lasting antibodies in a patient who has recovered. The government will form a committee to oversee the National Vaccine Development Plan in the next 6 months. Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Khairi Jamaluddin Abu Bakar said the committee will be chaired by his ministry along with the Health Ministry. Khairi explained that the National Vaccine Plan was to ensure that Malaysia will be able to produce its own vaccines.
Hala tuju pembangunan vaksin untuk negara Malaysia. Ini bukan hanya berkaitan dengan pandemik COVID-19, tetapi juga untuk kita merangka satu dasar dan hala tuju bagi pembangunan vaksin di Malaysia. Seperti mana yang mungkin diketahui, Malaysia tidak ada kapasiti untuk membuat vaksin manusia.
Khairi said that Malaysia currently only has the capacity to develop vaccines for animals and not for humans like other countries such as Thailand and Indonesia. He also said that holistic approach will be used to conduct research as well as to develop the vaccine. The repair and improvement works to the Sungai Selangor Phase 3 Water Treatment Plant SSP3 WTP has been conducted as scheduled. Pengurusan Air Selangor's Director and Head of Operations, Abbas Abdullah, in a statement said the repair and improvement works is 72% completed ahead of schedule. Previously, about 290 areas including Shah Alam, parts of Klang, Gombak and several other areas were affected from water supply disruption that was caused from repair and improvement works to the SSP3 WTP. The water supply is expected to resume in stages beginning today until 17 July. Abbas also said Air Selangor has deployed 93 water tankers to 82 hospitals, dialysis centres and government clinics in the areas affected by the disruption. He said Air Selangor have also placed 82 static water tanks at respective schools that are preparing for reopening to ensure that operations are normal. For more updates on repair work progress, consumers can contact Air Selangor via care line or log on to their website and social media channels. Now still to come, cops bust 2 syndicates, seize drugs worth 5.46 million ringgit. Selangor Police contingent has busted 2 syndicates with the arrest of 8 people and seizure of 102 kilograms of drugs worth about 5.46 million ringgit in a series of raids in the Klang Valley. Selangor Deputy Police Chief Dato' R. Junaidi Muhammad said the suspects comprise of 6 Malaysians, 1 Singaporean and 1 Vietnamese, aged between 23 and 49.
Di mana saya katakan tadi, peralatan ini dan bahan-bahan yang kita peroleh, kita percaya bukannya untuk proses dalam bentuk volume yang besar, tetapi lebih merupakan kitchen lab, diproses di rumah saja, tetapi dibuat secara berterusan. Kita percaya dah mungkin hampir 6 bulan. So dia buat secara berterusan, jadi hasilnya juga agak banyak jugalah. Dan nilai keseluruhan rampasan, nilai keseluruhan rampasan adalah lebih kurang 5.46 juta ringgit.
Dato' R. Junaidi said during that raids, the police seized various types of drugs including ketamine, heroin, ecstasy and Arabian 5 pills, as well as chemicals suspected for use to process drugs stored in one of the 2 adjacent rented houses. The police also seized a pistol and 2 empty shells. He said 6 of the suspects tested positive for drugs and 1 of them had previous criminal records. The case is investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Meanwhile, in Kuala Lumpur, 5 individuals, including 3 members of a family, have been arrested and drugs worth almost 1 million ringgit seized by police in 2 operations. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Seri Mazlan Lazim said the suspects, 4 men and a woman, aged between 30 and 60, were arrested on Thursday and Friday. Datuk Seri Mazlan said the police raided a house in Taman Connaught after they arrested a motorcyclist who was in possession of drugs. He said the suspect's wife and son, who were in the house, were also arrested. He said they were believed to have been distributing drugs in the Klang Valley for the past 2 months and they had been using motorcycles to distribute drugs in a bid to avoid detection by the authorities. In another operation the following day, Datuk Seri Mazlan said police nabbed 2 men travelling in a Mercedes-Benz at Batu Lima, Jalan Klang Lama at about 2:15 p.m. He said the police found packs of cocaine which are believed to be exported to Taiwan. He added that one of the suspects has 8 criminal records.
Jadi kalau kita campur kedua-dua jumlah rampasan ni, iaitu rampasan yang pertama dengan rampasan kedua, ianya mencapai kepada RM1,107,780. So kedua-dua kes ini mereka aktif di kawasan Lembah Kelang. Pengendaraan mereka di kawasan Lembah Kelang. Dan kita dapati bahawa mereka aktif kerana ada permintaan daripada mereka yang berkenaan. So kita serius dan juga committed dalam melaksanakan tanggungjawab kita dalam membentras kegiatan dadah di kawasan Kuala Lumpur.
All the suspects have been remanded for 6 days from the day of their arrest, and the cases are being investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. The government will be establishing a Bumiputra Prosperity Council, MKB, which will become the highest platform in efforts to empower the socio-economic development of the Bumiputra. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Mustafa Mohamad, said the MKB will be chaired by the Prime Minister, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. In a statement, Datuk Seri Mustafa said this was decided at the Economic Action Council EAC meeting. He said the establishment of MKB is part of the strategic intervention framework to drive and expedite the empowerment of the Bumiputra economy through efforts to increase capacity and ability across various programs. He explained that this is in line with the Shared Prosperity Vision 2030 that upholds three main objectives, namely development for all, addressing the income and wealth disparities, as well as building a united, prosperous and dignified nation. The minister also said that the government also agreed to strengthen the role of the Bumiputra Agenda Steering Unit, Teraju, in two main aspects, which are to be a coordinating body at the highest level by establishing an integrated and comprehensive network and relations with stakeholders in various sectors to monitor the implementation of policies and strategies of the Bumiputra socio-economic development. Over 129,000 job vacancies have been advertised through the My Future Jobs portal until 13 July. Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz said within the same period, the program under Social Security Organisation, SOCSO, had also received registration from more than 159,000 job seekers. In a statement yesterday, the minister said between 15 June and 10th of July, a total of 5,300 job seekers were successfully employed through the program. On another note, he said more than 2,800 individuals managed to secure employment through the hiring incentive program since it was open for registration on the 15th June. He said the program, which is under Penjana, will provide incentives for hiring and training assistance, as well as incentives to improve skills for youths and the unemployed, so that they are looked after for at least 3 months and maintain employability when the job market becomes more vibrant. Meanwhile, Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul said as at 13 July, the total disbursements of Bantuan Prihatin Nasional (BPN) had increased 1.28% to 11.06 billion ringgit. The Finance Minister said this involved 10.4 million recipients compared to 10.24 million recipients received last week. The minister said 121 million ringgit had been disbursed to 141,000 recipients from 160,000 approved appellants, with an allocation of 139 million ringgit. He also said that 4.3 million applications had been approved for the Employees Provident Fund (EPF) ILSRI program, with a total cumulative withdrawal from April to July amounting to 5.37 billion ringgit. He also advised the public to utilize the Free Retirement Advisory Service (RAS) provided by the EPF to facilitate savings planning. But first, in the game of badminton, men's doubles professional shuttler Govi Shem is confident that the current national team has a strong chance of doing well in the 2020 Thomas Cup to be held in Aarhus, Denmark in October. The Thomas Cup and Uber Cup were initially scheduled to be held from the 16th to the 24th of May. They were then moved to the 15th to the 23rd of August before the dates were changed again to the 3rd till the 11th of October due to the global COVID-19 pandemic.
Malaysia memang kuat. Sekarang pun ada Lee Zizia kan, first single. Dia nampaknya pun confidence. Lepas tu Aaron dengan Sowi pun sudah naik lah, standard pun sudah ada sampai sana. So saya harap kita pun boleh bagi satu strong pair jugalah ya. Confidence kena ada lah, kena ada confidence. Kalau confidence kurang memang susah main untuk team event ya.
Vishem, who partnered Tan Wee Kyong to a silver medal at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, told media after checking in at the Academy Badminton Malaysia (ABM) in Bukit Kiara yesterday. As part of preparations for the Thomas Cup and Uber Cup, the Badminton Association of Malaysia (BAM) have decided to call up professional shuttlers to attend the joint training at the ABM begins today. The other professionals called up for the joint training included men's singles players Liu Darren and Sung Ju Wen, men's doubles pair Teo Yi Yi, Ong Yu Sin, and mixed doubles pair Chan Ping Sun, Goh Liu Wing. Meanwhile, BM coaching director Wong Chun Han hoped that the presence of the professional players would benefit the younger players, especially in terms of providing quality sparring and training. He also said that the joint training was an effort to build a solid team spirit and to be better prepared for the Thomas Cup and Uber Cup. That's it from us this afternoon. In our top stories, second phase back to school starts today. Tune in to our news at 10 this evening on the Berita RTM on My Freeviews channel 123. You can also stream MyClick's Saluran Berita RTM. Till then, I'm Brendan Lipol. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.